Yo guys, what is up? Andy here with another video for you guys, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Takealot and is it worth selling on Takealot. So last year I did a video about how to get going selling on Takealot. I was still quite a beginner with Takealot and I didn't really know everything that I needed to know about Takealot. I still don't. It's a very fickle mistress. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys are sitting and probably contemplating whether or not to make that decision of selling on Takealot or not. Okay, so for those that don't know, Takealot's basically a marketplace. It's not all stuff owned by Takealot. Most of it is owned by third-party sellers. So it used to be like the Amazon model. It used to be just Amazon books, the books that they owned, and then they opened it up to third parties to sell on their e-commerce platform. And now it's just like a mainstream thing to do. But with Takealot being in a developing economy and coming up in the world, it's not as advanced as say Amazon is. It's a lot of the systems design. Look, the internal systems I think are very good, but a lot of the systems that help sellers use their software effectively haven't been developed. Where there's like thousands of plugins for Amazon to get your invoices from Amazon seller into Xero or Amazon into whatever accounting system you're using. It connects with Salesforce. It connects with all the different plugins and whatnot. Zapier, you can just go on, plug in Amazon seller, and boom, you're ready to go. But with Takealot, the market hasn't required those yet, and therefore it hasn't actually. No one's made those yet, and Takealot doesn't seem to be making them on their part. So before you get into doing something on Takealot and whether you need to know is it worth it or not, there's a couple of things you might need to factor in. Personally, it's been a lot of work getting going on Takealot. I'm not just a one-man band, and the team has been very, very, very stressed with getting things on Takealot. It was, we had a very mainstream, a very simple system with the e-commerce website. Someone buys something, the website gives us the picking slip, and you pack it, and then it completes it, sends the invoice. That was it, and it was handling a large volume of orders with very, very little intervention. Now here comes Takealot, comes along, and basically the systems had to be designed from scratch. So there was no way to get invoices from Takealot seller portal into my accounting system. Stock is a whole nightmare on its own. Now you have to communicate with your books, what's on stock, and then you have to keep sending that to Takealot, either manually or automated. You have to make sure, now there's returns from Takealot. It doesn't really exactly communicate very nicely what's happened to those stock lines, and then there's the very rigorous procedures for sending in stuff to Takealot. You have extensive KPIs, and something like a leaked bottle of nutrients or whatever can spoil an entire consignment, and then you're left sort of having to deal with this Takealot problem, with this inbound stock problem. So you've got all of those issues. I've managed to work around them to a point where it's starting to feel kind of stable. We mainly do lead time orders, which means we don't send in our stock to Takealot. It's just we've not figured out that warehousing multiple stock locations in our books yet. It's quite complicated. So for now we lead timing, but sometimes if you sell a product, it gets returned, then it gets sold as a lead time, as an in-stock order. Very complicated, but anyway. And so far it's going good. Let me just show you. So in terms of our order volumes, you can see that since when we started in February, March, May, June, it's basically been a steady climb. That's 49 orders in June, August 43, 23, And then around about October, November, we started really pushing the uploads. We got comfortable with the system, and sort of the couriers had upped their game a bit, and we were able to fulfill more orders, and we started loading more products, because product loading takes time. But anyway, as we started loading products, as we started getting the hang of things, we could obviously make sure our inventory levels were higher, which means we could generate more sales, more products going on, and we had 1 or 2 products that were obviously very successful on Takealot. And to go from sort of this sort of volume in early 2021 to over 424 orders in January 2021, we've been very, very happy with those results. Look, they are smaller value items. Unfortunately, I wish it was like TVs or something, but those are some of the lines that we're selling on Takealot are lines that I couldn't have generated those sales for those products on our website. We have a very niche model. It's marijuana SA. It's very cannabis grow related, where we have customers. We have products like sort of power meters and things like that, and hygrometers, which not your average grower might not want to shop from a sort of cannabis related store, so they would want to go through Takealot. And also everyone likes Takealot. Your returns are convenient, the payment options are convenient, you trust it. So in South Africa, trust is a big deal. So I'm very happy with how it's been going. I think it is worth it, but you do have to note that you're going to be getting very familiar with things like the seller portal, your Takealot APIs. I mean, I spent at least 100 hours, 200 hours developing advanced sort of API connections into Takealot, where the stock syncs with Xero, the invoices post automatically because you have stock levels that need to be reflected live. Hundreds of hours put into this system. Companies were quoting thousands and thousands of rands, like upwards of 8,000 rand a month to manage this as a system. I've managed to make it a MacGyver on my own with sheets and some API knowledge and lots of friends and phone calls and late nights. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a solution. So that was unexpected. I never look, a website, e-commerce store, Shopify, WordPress, you don't need to know how to do these kind of things. And I think if you're selling on Amazon in overseas, you don't need to know these things either. So though that was a very, very steep learning curve, back from importing invoices and stock mismatches, really, and the stress. And then also, I mean, look at if you have a look at this, these are the KPIs that you have to maintain within Takealot. Cancellations 1%, lates 2.5%, inbound exception rate 3%, and account level return rate 6%. So if you go over any of those, your account, your lead time order capabilities are at risk. So this entire sort of model could just be whisked away at a moment's notice. So I mean, we've had issues. We, as you struggle to maintain these things, and the couriers don't book in an assignment, then you have a late, and then your late comes up on our profile. So it's very, 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 very stressful keeping everyone under these. Everyone's motivated to stay under these, but it is very, very hard. I mean, 1% cancellation rate. If you have 100 orders, that's one order where you've oversold, and now you don't have it. Especially if you're importing, you don't have access to this product at quick notice. I mean, we've done some very hard, drastic things to get products. We literally go to competitors, buy the product, send it to Takealot, completely lose all the money on that product, and send it just to make sure we're not late. But as you can see, from developing that and being on top of it and having a support system and a good knowledge of IT, it has generated a good revenue stream alternative to our website. And we're excited to see where 2021 brings us as we load more products, as we gear up, as we scale a lot more. I think it's going to obviously reflect on this, and I do believe in the powerhouse of Takealot. Sure, I mean, these orders look nice, but they charge per delivery. We have to pay to send it in. We also pay a success fee, basically 12 to 15% on every single order Takealot just takes into their pocket. They charge us for delivery about 30 to 50 Rand, depending on the size of it. So that's 424 times 32 in delivery charges, and then of the order value minus 15% of that. And then it's obviously the extra stress on the team. So yeah, it consider it very wisely. If you're going to do it, open an account, start very slow. Make sure you don't oversell or undersell or hand deliver late. The support isn't very good in terms of your reply times. So don't expect you can just pick up the phone and be like, hey, how do I stick this label on and how do I print this? It's not that easy. You have to just be patient and phone, get it put through to several people, or email. Your tickets maybe just not going to get replied to. So you have to be very prepared for that, and don't risk your account in the early days. Don't risk messing up those KPIs in the early days. We nearly did as the break of COVID and the first lockdown happened. Couriers stopped delivering. They cut the overnights. They took basically half their staff was sitting and doing and not delivering because only essential goods were able to deliver. They cut routes. Anyway, luckily everyone's account dipped through that, and everyone sort of violated their KPIs. So Takealot basically suspended everyone selling on lead time for I think it was a week or 10 days, and they said, cool, that's 10 days for everyone to get just like back on it for grace period, and then thereafter everyone had got to recoup. But still, I think it's not normal times. Anyway, be careful with those. Go through it step by step. I mean, look how we did. It took us 5 months of just figuring out the system, sending 3 orders a month, 2 orders that month, 6 orders that month, 15 orders, just to get understand what was going on and make sure the couriers and how it books in, to before we actually realized, okay, we can scale this up and make it worthwhile. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, leave some comments and suggestions. If you're selling on Takealot, it'd be cool for me to know how it's going for you guys. I know a lot of people absolutely despise Takealot and their systems and their methods. I've heard horror stories of people trying to integrate and just basically walking away from it, saying they'll never do it again. I've hopefully given you a bit of a good story. But yeah, let's hear it down below, and yeah, check you guys next week with I still owe you a video on how to actually sell on Takealot, loading products, different order types, and yeah, I'm gonna crack into that next week. Cheers, guys.